And are you refreshed? Good. Now what? Calibration to do? Or are you tired of that? Never get tired of that. That's significant.
Hi. So you kind of answered the question that I had already, but I'm going to ask it anyway because I'm sure there's still more I can learn. So I experienced a lot of contrast the past year, and I can see the value in it now. Not in the beginning, but now I do see the value in it. And I've been, a lot of things are starting to come.
Value because it caused a creation. Value because your inner being is all over it. Value because you get the fun of the feeling of moving toward it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it showed me how I was creating it. I'm like, oh, that's what I'm doing. So I was able to see what I was doing to make it happen and stop.
Good.
So now things are happening, moving in a better direction. But the biggest thing in my life right now hasn't happened yet. So I find myself slipping back like, oh, why hasn't this happened yet? When even things that were bigger than that are starting to turn around.
The answer is the things that I desire, that I have the least resistance to, are the things that happen first. The things that I desire, that I have the most resistance to, are more stubborn. And isn't it logical that the things you want the most, you've been thinking about the longest from the screwiest point of view? Isn't it logical that the things you want the most potentially could have the most resistance attached to them? So the things I want the most, I have the most cleaning up to do about. And here's the other big thing. The thing I want the most, I can't just forget about it because I want it. If I could just forget about it, then I'd get out of the way of it and it could come. But because I want it so much, I'm obsessed with it. So I think about it all the time from a point of belief system that's calibrated in a wonky way. And now I got some work to do, yeah?
Yes.
Perfectly logical, isn't it?
Yes.
So this thing I know I want it the most because I feel the most around it. If you sort of want it, it sort of bothers you if you don't have it. If you really want it, it really bothers you if you don't have it. Those are all those calibration clues, yeah?
Yeah. Well, what can I do to make it come faster?
Two things. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
That's not likely.
Right.
Clean it up. That's not likely either. Oh, that might be more likely. You seem rather determined. You seem like you want to clean it up. Want to clean it up?
Yes.
Let's clean it up.
Okay. So can I just tell you exactly what it is?
Just tell us sort of softly what it is.
Okay.
Don't dig a big hole that we all have to climb out of.
Gotcha. Okay, so a part of the contrast was I lost my residence. So it's only been a few months, but I've been staying with my sister. And this is the first time I've ever, in my whole adult life, that I've ever not had my own space. So I'm trying to get back to that. Like I want my own home again.
All right,
and it's not coming fast.
So what kinds of things are the only thoughts that you can feel are out of calibration with what you want? Is the only one it's not coming fast enough, or are there other thoughts like I screwed up or like I should have been smarter? Just throw a few of those thoughts out.
Okay. Yeah, how did I get here?
All right. How did I get here? How did I get here? How did I not see this coming? How did I let it get so far before I did something about it? So that's the general thread of that thought. So now begin calibrating. Well, I didn't know about calibration then. And I'm doing what everybody else is doing. I'm sort of calibrating to circumstances. And it's logical that you get what you think about. So I can see how it was a path that just got worse and worse. It's logical to me that the better it gets, the better it gets. And the worse it gets, the worse it gets. So this is just evidence that it's not really a good idea to let conditions be my point of calibration. So doesn't that just feel better?
Yes.
No big deal, because I can start from where I am at any time. It doesn't matter if it was 1 day or 6 months before I begin cleaning it up. But then think about this. This is really important. We will all really enjoy this. So at the same time that you're sort of beating up on yourself, how did I get here? A similar vibration, one of very similar attraction power, says, I don't like living here. This is not the best place to be. Nobody puts anything away.
Oh, that is the exact thought.
I'm tired of all this clutter. I don't feel free. And so those thoughts all kind of match each other, don't they? When you get in that blameful thing of this is not a fun place to live. In other words, if it was really a nice place to live, you might not ever want to leave. Except that you like your autonomy and you like your space and all of that. Stay there just for a little bit. I know what I don't like. I don't like how messy this place is. And then try to find some thoughts that are more like the thoughts that your inner being would be thinking about this situation. My sister was nice to take me in. It's nice that I have a place to light while I regroup. It gives me more opportunity to calibrate. I'm clear about what I do want than when I first got here. I'm more sure about what I do want than when I first got here. This was a good step along the way. This was a soothing path for me. I really am thankful. I really am appreciative that I've been here. Now, feel how you come into resonance with your inner being when you think thoughts like that. And we got all of those from you because we know from time to time you feel all of those things.
Yes, I do.
And so now as you focus on those things, in the same way, hear this, in the same way that feeling mad at yourself and feeling mad at your sister are sort of the same vibration, feeling appreciation for your sister and expecting good things to come to you are also similar vibrations. So by taking a piece of it and calibrating to a better feeling place, now you have access to all the good feeling places that match that calibration. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So then thoughts start to flow to you like all things in time, and things are lining up for me, and there's help for me all around, and cooperative components are coming to me all the time, and just look at the cooperative components that have already come, and it's fun to think about what's coming next, and it's going to be so fun to watch this unfold. Now you're really off and rolling, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I just have one more question if I can. So I'm a teacher, and I feel like I'm pretty good at what I do, but this particular year I'm a substitute teacher, so I'm walking into a room full of kids who don't know me, and there's a lot of resistance with them. And so a part of me, I'm trying to remember all these things that I know and that I've learned and bring it into that environment. But sometimes my buttons get pushed early on, and it's hard to turn it around.
Those are the best words spoken here today. When it's already underway, it's harder to turn it around, which is a case for getting out ahead of it. And think about the confirmation of your story to the things that we've said earlier here today, that when you walk into a space, that atmosphere has already been created by those little brats, by those little kids. And they don't like being there, they don't like their regular teacher, and they really don't like you. And they're planning on getting one over on you because you don't really know so much. So there's a whole bunch of stuff already going on before you get there. It's really logical that a situation like that would push your buttons. It's really logical. They're experts at it because they've been in bondage almost their whole life. And they're just trying to find some kind of freedom any way they can. And you're part of the problem as far as they're concerned. So now we've identified where you're at and what your point of attraction is, because all of those things are evidenced by every substitute teacher who's ever walked the planet. That's the story that almost all of them would tell. So what are you going to do about it? Because you are unique to you. What do you think that your inner being knows about those kids that they made you forget?
That they're all God, they all have God within them still, and they're learning.
And even more believable,
they don't hate me.
Even more believable is they've been calibrated to the circumstance, and they really want to calibrate to their true self. And they do want to feel good. And some of what they do is a good calibration toward feeling good. And school and its rules are often calibrated against them feeling good. So they're not completely off base in their quest for feeling good. And I want that too. I want it for me, and I want it for them. So since there's no really big stakes here, because after all, I'm the substitute teacher, nobody's going to hold my feet to the fire about this. Maybe I can give them and me more of what they and I want. Maybe we can have more fun. Maybe I can see them more as they are. Maybe I don't need to wrestle them to the ground and kill them and enforce the rules so strongly. Maybe I can overlook the rules since I didn't make the rules in this classroom. Maybe I could say, All right, class, I'm glad to see you. I don't know anything about your class. Are there any rules? Like, is there a rule that you have fun? Is there a rule that if you have something to say, you can just say it? You'll come up with better things than we are here, and they'll catch on that you're not normal. And you could even say, you may have a hard time believing this, but I'm more like you than you know, because I like to have fun. I think school sucks. Well, you might want to soften that. I think that school feels like jail. And I don't want to be in jail. I had fun in school. Did you have fun in school? Oh, you didn't have fun in school. You thought school was jail. So why are you the jailer now?
I don't want to be a jailer.
Why did you choose to be the jailer? Did you choose to be the jailer to make school more like jail or to make school more fun?
I do want to make it more fun.
Yeah. So you could tell them that. You probably don't feel this way, but when I was in school, it felt so much like jail to me. How old are these kids?
These are their middle school, so 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Yeah.
All of their thoughts and prayers are with you. But that's worth nothing, because you got to do your own calibrating.
Right.
How does it feel just playing with those words as you're getting out ahead of it and thinking about being there next? How does it feel to say to them, honestly, I didn't like school, but it's because I didn't know that it could be fun, and now I know it can be.
It makes me feel excited, better than like dreading to go back, because I have to go. I'm going back for another week, so I've been trying to think of ways, to make it better.
Well, here's something that's really fun every time. To do some calibration and then see what happens next. And then do some calibration and then see what happens next. That's really fun. It's really fun to clean up your vibration. For example, do I think that school is jail, or do I think that it's the potential for having a good time? Two.
I think it's, yeah.
Do I think that the learning is only about what's in the books, or do I think the learning is about co-creation in class? Do I think that these kids being together is an opportunity for them to understand the law of attraction and that they get what they think about? Or do I think that it's only about what they're learning in books and there's nothing beyond that? Can I own a room? Can I get so tuned in that it would be hard for them to not tap into the fun I feel? Could I be feeling so frisky and so good and so happy about this bunch of renegades that they just look like the atmosphere for a lot of fun today, and I'm really glad to be here. Mm-hmm. Can you feel what could happen when you feel like that? Mm-hmm. I know that they didn't want to come, but a part of them did because they don't want to get in trouble. So they came because they don't want to be in trouble, but they came not wanting to be in trouble. So what does that mean? They came expecting to be in trouble. And so they always do things that get them in trouble, especially with me. So I'm going to surprise them. I'm going to be ungettable, in trouble with. I'm going to be so tuned in to source energy that they're, well, you might want to soften that. I think that school feels like jail. And I don't want to be in jail. I had fun in school. Did you have fun in school? Oh, you didn't have fun in school. You thought school was jail. So why are you the jailer now?
I don't want to be a jailer.
Why did you choose to be the jailer? Did you choose to be the jailer to make school more like jail or to make school more fun?
I do want to make it more fun.
Yeah. So you could tell them that. You probably don't feel this way, but when I was in school, it felt so much like jail to me.